Good morning, everybody, and I feel my heart is warm to be here with some people that have been with me for a long time and supported me, and you'll always be special to me, and I appreciate that so much. What I want to tell you about Hiram is, I think one of the things I'm most proud of is that we seem to be in a good place now. I was telling Sharon earlier that I had a resident ask me the other day, she said, well, what's going on in Hiram? I never hear any gossip. To me, that was good. That was a good thing to say that. And we committed going in to work together, and you know, people have differences of opinion. Sometimes I feel like it doesn't go my way, but when I listen to the others, you know, I find that they had the better idea. So I'm just really, like I said, there's an officer that's been there 17 years, and he said it's the best he's ever seen it. So I'm very proud of that. What we've been doing is, there were so many things, and I tried to jot them down as I thought about them, and I know I've missed some things. But we've just voted on and approved our 17-18 budget. The budget looked a little bit better this year than last year. We're proud of that. And that is due to all the departments and everybody working together to help and cut anywhere they felt like they could without doing that. And so that, to me, I was excited. We're also working on our historical downtown overlay district ordinance, because there's a lot of things we want to do in our historic downtown. But with these ordinances, it gives you a little bit more leeway than like if you're out on 278 and you know, the big areas. We're working on getting all of our downtown businesses on sewer, and if we can do that, that will free up the land right behind City Hall. And if we can acquire that strip of property, then we'll be able to add additional parking as well as a permanent Veterans Memorial. So we hope that's going to happen, and we think it will. In due time, it's going to. We've got a lot of new businesses coming into the city. Some of the main ones are the Club Store Outlet. I understand that's a great place. I think it opens on July 15th. We're excited about that. We have Lidl or Little. None of us can figure out really how you say the name of that grocery store. But it originated in Germany. It's supposed to have prices similar to Aldi's, but it's going to be a lot bigger, more modern store. So we're really excited about that. We've needed a grocery store for a long time. And also we're working on approving an SUP for a liquor warehouse that will be almost 12,000 square feet. That's a huge, liquor store. You always have mixed feelings because they come in and it's going to be where the old Roosters used to be and that car wash. And you have mixed feelings because you want to see the new businesses because it helps to generate tax dollars for our county. And that's what it's all about. And we feel like Hiram is very proud of what we contribute as far as our tax dollars. But you worry about then the little man. Is it going to hurt them? But with progress, sometimes there's nothing you can do but just let it happen as it's going to happen and not worry about it. One area that I'm extremely proud of, and I want to speak about them, is we have a magnificent police department. Now, if you've been ticketed by them, you probably don't feel that way, but they really are a very good group. They give so much of their time, to do things for the community. They have implemented several programs targeted for the community, such as the Citizens Police Academy. If you have not attended one of those, I've never had anyone say that they didn't enjoy that so much. It's, I think, 6 weeks, but it's a fun program. You learn a lot. And there again, you have an officer who takes his time at night when he could be home, working with the people. We have a car seat program, which I love that one. We have officers who, again, took their time to go and get the proper training to show the people how to make sure that the car seats are fitted right, that it protects kids. We even give away car seats. If there are people that do not have them, we give car seats. We have our child safety program once a year where, you know, you can just walk into the police department or city hall. You can get the special locks and everything for the handguns to keep kids safe at home, you know, try to protect them at home. We also have a program once a month. We have Teens Ride with Pride. And PRIDE means Parents Reducing Injuries and Driver Errors. And that's important, and we do that once a month. This particular officer that does a lot of these programs is just, he's phenomenal. He's a very good human being. We have our bike patrol now, and that's fun to watch. You know, where they drive around or ride their bikes around and talk to the community to see if there's anything they need, what we can do to be of service to them. We also have our Explorer program, which is for the young gentlemen, young guys and girls who think they want a future in law enforcement. We start them early in the Explorers, and they're such an asset to the city. Like we have the Red, White, and Boom coming up. These kids will be there. Everything we have, they will be there working and everything, and it's, you know, they do it for nothing. They're good community people, kids, and we're proud of those. There's just so much I could go ahead and say about the police department, but I guess that's enough. I'll think of something when I sit down, and I'll interrupt Vernon and say, hey, I thought something else. By virtue of being the mayor, I'm on 2 county boards, and that is the Airport Authority and the IBA. The IBA is moving forward with the county, with the county supporting the IBA. We feel like we are on the edge of seeing great things coming to our county, and I really do. I think it's there, it's just waiting to come in. And I hope that won't be long, you know, because we need a bigger tax base of businesses and everything. That would help all of that tremendously. And but I'm going to let Vernon speak to you more about that because he's more familiar with it. They've been working with that. And the last item is I want to remind everybody about the Red, White, and Boom. We are working with the Chamber on that. They've partnered with us, and they have done a great job. Their new events planner, John Gray, is a great human being, and he has worked so hard. And this time we're going to keep everything on the side of 278 where Old Town Hiram is. It had gotten so dangerous with so many people and trying to get them across 92. But they'll still have a perfect site for the fireworks. They'll be where they've always been. But the Chamber, I appreciate what they've done. They have just come in and they have done an excellent job helping us with the Red, White, and Boom. So some of you are kind of like myself. You'd rather sit at home than be in, you know, that a crowd of people like that. But if you have kids, grandkids, and everything, pass the word for them to bring the kids down there. I think we'll have 100+ vendors, food trucks. It's going to be a big event. We just hope that the weather is good. And I guess at this time, I'll take some questions, but that's about the only thing I can think of to tell you what's going on in home. It's a busy place right now. Got a lot of good things happening, and we're just really excited about the future. And Vernon he's been of great help to us, and I know he's going to continue to support us, or I should say Commissioner Collette. I know he's going to continue to support home, and we appreciate that very much. So does anyone have any questions? Did I cover it all?
What's the status of that medical waste treatment?
So I have not heard anything about that now in several months. The last time I talked with 2 people at the state, they had not been in to make application. I hope that I need to find the time to call back and check on that. I think the biggest impact I could have made with the men, and it just happened, some things just fall right into place because they call it solid waste. In my opinion, it's not solid waste. And I happened to be in the doctor's office back then, and waiting on a doctor when one of the last gentlemen called me from the state. And I said, you know, you call it solid waste, but I'm sitting here and there's a trash can there that I'll take that garbage out and put in my car. But that box sitting over there with the red bag, I'm not gonna put that in my car. So there is a difference. There definitely is a difference. And my opinion of that was we had too many open areas out in the county to try to put it right in the door of our restaurants. You know, our entertainment, our shopping, right behind Hiram School. I mean, I just didn't, they call it, you know, I mean, it's a danger for some reason. And I just, you know, that was one thing I really hated to see. It may be in the works right now, Sue, and I really need to call the state and see what has happened if they ever come in and made application. I kind of heard they didn't, but I need to follow up on that. But there's a lot of things to follow up on every day. You know, you'd be surprised. You get up in the mornings and people say, you get up early if they ride by the house for some reason. And our chief of police runs a lot. And I say, well, I do. But as soon as I get up, I'm making phone calls and trying to get things squared away. So it's really never a lot of time that you can just lay it down and walk away from it. And I'm sure Lydia, Virginia, Commissioner Colley, y'all know that. There's just never any time you just walk away. It's always with you.
I had no idea that there was so much going on in Hiram and so many programs. That's great.
It is.
And you know what's nice too is, at least I don't hear that there's a lot of crime in Hiram.
No, it is costly. Some people talk about, well, Hiram really is just a little city with the police department. And that's true in some ways. But we have to have those police to keep it safe. If we did not have them and people quit coming down there, and like I said, I think the commissioner can vouch that we bring in a tremendous amount of tax dollars to this county. But if, I think from, they're expected, what, on the low end, 120 million this next 6-year period. And Hiram brings in about half of that. So we have to keep it safe or people will quit coming. During the day, at the peak of the travel time, we may have 30, 40, 50,000 residents travel through our city. And people don't think about that. We have to look out after those people as well and make sure it is safe.
Well, you're doing a great job.
And you have your own magistrate judge and
Yes,
all
we
of
do.
that too, don't you?
Chad Plumley, yes.
I thought so.
We love Chad.
And I do have a question about all this stuff I've heard in the past about the gross receipt taxes on businesses.
Mhm.
Do you see that going away, or is it gonna forever be there?
Well, I don't know. What we're facing, Lydia, and this is something, again, I have to understand and say too. We're being mandated by so many things from the state and the federal government. They watch everything you do. They tell you there's many things you have to do. And our police department is a very expensive department to run, but we cannot do without any of them. I mean, we can't, not even keep it a place where people are going to continue to come. Because if we ever start getting a bad reputation, people will stop coming. I mean, you know they will. And so it's just a double-sided sword. I mean, you know, trying to maintain it and keep it a good place and then live within your means too. What we did with that, we cut it way back so it really did not make a big impact on anybody. It's not like it first was discussed and what we could charge or they talked about charging. They cut it way back where it was really just a minimal additional fee to get their get their license. So far we haven't really had any complaints because of that. We did reduce the amount quite a bit. And for myself, I would never have a tax dollar or anything like that because I fought that so hard. I hated to see that because I appreciate the businesses. But then when you see what we do for them too and what it costs us to do it, because on any given day there may be several calls to Walmart or Kohl's or places like that that takes manpower off the streets. And you know, they're not charged one dime for those calls. Even Home Depot, even though it's actually in the county, because of the way that was set up years ago, it's a little island there. But if Home Depot needs us, we're right there. And so we don't ask a dime off these businesses. But luckily, they have not been too upset about it either, because we did keep it at just, just a really low rate. So
Good.
hopefully, yes,
Yeah,
ma'am.
I'm sorry, I was late.
Who are
On
you
those
now?
receipts,
I just-
I think the biggest objection was that they have to turn in something that says how much money they've earned. If you had, and when we've had this conversation, I've actually talked to you about this. If you just restructured the business license fees, that would include and make it might be a little bit more friendly, because what's happening, and I was at a Dallas City Council meeting, and they discussed following your lead. My business is in Dallas. We're a construction company. We do over $1 million a year in sales, but the profit margins are 2%. So, that's a little hard to swallow when it's based on your sales and me providing that information to the
Well, like I
city.
said, the first year we came out, and Commissioner Collett's wife can, be a testament to this. We did send out some ridiculous forms that were just too personal, too involved. But, we backed off of that and made that easier. And so we don't go by, you don't have to report all your employees and everything anymore. I mean, that many. And like I said, we've got it now at the lowest rate we can get it, and still just bring in a little bit of extra
Right.
income in
Right.
order to support it.
And
It's
I
really to
think,
support
I
our
think
police.
it's the way that it's structured that is the issue. That it's gross receipts, and you have to turn those in to a government entity.
Mhm.
Those are the things that you've got to have documentation. I think those were the biggest objections.
Well, we
So-
we did the first year, it was chaotic.
Yeah, I'm sure.
But, we learned our lesson, and we learned it's all about the people, it's all about the businesses, and let's kind of, back off some, let's do not get so
That was
personal
great.
with everything.
It was great that you did that, yes.
And so that's helped a lot, and it's calmed some people's anxiety. Would you think Debbie is calmer about it now?
I should let Debbie speak for herself, but I would say she probably is a little bit better.
Yeah, well, I know it was tough on her the first time that we sent out those notices wanting so much information. People resented that, and I can understand why. So hopefully, it's been backed off enough that it's appeased them, and we're not asking for so many requirements and everything now. And I wish we didn't have to have it at all, but like I said, it is just it all goes right back into the city and people's protection, because our police department is, I know you think the size of Hiram, what 2 or 3 should be enough, but nobody can understand what goes on in a day in Hiram. I mean, in a 24-hour period, you really just do not understand what can go on until you see it firsthand.
Do the residents still not pay city tax?
No, we do not have city tax at this time.
Oh, good.
And I'm hoping that, God willing, I can get out of office before they do, because how much I'm against, I'm opposed to that. I'm very conservative. And I've had to be a little kinder, learn to be a little bit kinder about that, because I was anti-anything that would cost our citizens any more than what, they've been paying. But I have had to learn to accept things a little bit better. But at this time, no, we still do not have property tax. And I'm just hoping that I can finish out my term, Or I think I might have to walk away, because that's one thing that would be really hard for me to see. But then again, when you have so many people come to your meetings, and they want police here, and they want police there, and they want this kind of protection and that kind of protection, and they want the code enforcement officer to make their neighbors clean up, and, that might take 3 or 4 visits to find that person at home and write citations. It really is a lot to it. I mean, it's a lot of time given to that. Unless you are right in the middle of it, you just, on the outside looking in. And like I said, that major thing about people, everything always says it goes by the amount of residents, that you have. But they don't realize that we at some point during the day, we're servicing upwards of, 30 to 50,000 people that's traveling through Hiram. But nobody wants to recognize that. And that's a heartbreak, because they don't. Because I truly feel like we do our part for this county. I do. Anything else? Okay. I thank y'all for listening. And again, it's good to be with y'all. I feel like I'm home here with everybody because all of you mean a lot to me. We go back a long way, and I just feel home to be here with you. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.